Okay guys, in this video I'm going to briefly explain a type of measurement that we use when we measure rotational angles, and that would be using degrees and what we call minutes, and sometimes degrees, minutes, seconds. And so the whole premise here is going to be this. If we were to be able to look at degrees as a measure of rotation of angle here, let's say that I have a 1 degree angle, could we split this 1 degree angle up into smaller parts? And so typically what we do is we say that in traditional units, we split this 1 degree up into 60 equal sized parts. And each one of those parts we're going to call a minute. So let's go ahead and write the definition of degrees and minutes here. We would say that every degree can be imagined to be split up into 60 equal sized parts, each called 1 minute. And so in terms of notation here, these smaller parts of a degree we write with just like a little apostrophe. And so we're going to say that this right here, 1 with an apostrophe, this is referred to as 1, actually let me use the numeral 1 here, 1 minute. And that's how we would read this right here. And so what we could say about 1 minute is that 1 minute is technically a 60th of a degree rotation. And so to ask this question, how many minutes would be in a full degree? Well, it would take 60 60ths degrees to make a full degree. So in other words, one other thing we could say here is that 60 minutes equals 1 full degree. So the way we look at minutes is it's just a smaller way of measuring an angle in terms of 60ths of a degree. So the way we're going to look at these angles that we see up here in degrees and minutes is something where we're going to want to convert it into decimal. So that being said, what our instructions are here, it says convert the following angles from degrees and minutes into decimal degrees. When we look at this first angle here, what it says is 45 degrees, but also 15 minutes. So the way we're going to interpret this here is simply to, first of all, let's write the second part as a fraction. So what I mean is we could say that this is 45 degrees plus 15 minutes, which is really 15 60ths of a degree. Excuse me. So in order to convert this into a decimal, what we're really going to do then is we're going to take this 15 60ths here and we're just going to type it into a calculator and say, what does our calculator give us as a decimal value? So because 45 degrees and 15 minutes really means 45 degrees plus 15 60ths of a degree, then really what we have here is this 45 degrees plus another 0.25 of a degree. So as we write this as a decimal, what we're really going to do is just say that this is 45.25 degrees. So to boil this down into a nutshell here, if I suppose I was saying converting from degrees and minutes to decimal degrees, which is the decimal value that we got there. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to take the minutes part of the angle and divide it by 60. This gives us the fraction of the degree as a decimal. And then what we're going to do is this. Add that decimal onto the whole number part of the angle. So in other words, what we're going to be doing on all of these that have minutes is really converting them back into decimal degrees just by taking the number of minutes and dividing by 60. So for something like negative 120 degrees and 20 minutes, this would be the same thing as negative 120 degrees and 20 60ths of a degree. So again, all we're really going to do is this. We're going to take our calculator. We'll take the 20 part, divide by 60. So 20 divided by 60. We get this right here. So this original angle really is just negative 120. So we get negative 120.33 degrees. So this can be done on all these, and that's exactly what I want you guys to do. We're going to convert all of our minutes measurement, degrees minutes measurement, to decimal degrees in order to more easily facilitate our law sines, law cosines problems. Cheers.